What I said is that what we have asked the Chinese, and this is in line with the international community, is to preserve family unities, is to not to separate. That applies obviously when you have children under 18, in the sense that if you had a child which would be Canadian, but you would have a primary caregiver which would be a permanent resident or a Chinese national, what we have petitioned is that obviously to repatriate, we have asked the Chinese authority to allow the primary caregivers, whether they're Canadian citizen, permanent resident, or Chinese national, to be able to fly with that child in Canada. We receive assurance that China will follow suit on that. So the position of the Chinese authority as we speak is that only foreign nationals, meaning in the case of Canada, Canadian citizens, which would be allowed, and as Minister Aidu said rightly, those who would be undergoing before even they board medical testing, so those who are asymptomatic would be allowed on the plane. That position of the Chinese authority is the same with respect to every other nation that I'm aware of. So in the sense that they've allowed, and Minister Aidu explained the reasons for that, that they would allow us to repatriate foreign nationals. We obviously, in my discussion with Minister Wang Yi, State Councillor Wang Yi, which is the Foreign Minister of China, I've asked him, like other nations, to consider whether we could also repatriate permanent residents. The concession or the position that has been taken by China is to preserve family unity. So when there's a child, if the primary caregiver is a permanent resident, they would allow that child, which is Canadian, with the primary caregiver to come. But the position that China has been taking is the same, but I would say that we will continue, obviously, to provide consular assistance to every Canadian and permanent resident, and we'll continue to ask for us to be able to repatriate every Canadian and permanent residents.
Our understanding from the Chinese authorities is that no one who is presenting symptoms will be able to fly. This is actually part of China's extensive effort to contain the spread of disease. The reality is that obviously we're working within their jurisdiction, and we won't, I know that Minister Champagne has been able to get some concessions around family unification, but I don't anticipate we'll be able to get the Chinese to concede on that point.